Hello, everybody, and welcome to my live reaction of One Piece 1062. Kind of have a lot of stuff going on today, so I'm just doing a live reaction. So let's get into it. I haven't seen 1062 before now, so we're going into this completely blind. One Piece Chapter 1062 Adventure in the Land of Science. Germa 66's Cold Blooded Voyage, Volume 20. Meanwhile, in Chocolate Town on Cacao Island. Apparently, everything has been frozen. Oda says, I ate a miracle fruit for the first time and followed it up with a lemon. I've got to say, the lemon was delicious. Wait, what the heck? It's funny. I believe miracle fruits are a Kirby reference. Nice job, Oda. Vegapunk, the Vegapunk? What a fracas. Frankie says, Vegapunk, you're like my role model. I killed 2 years in your hometown, Baltimore. After going through your lab, there was still a load of stuff I didn't get a chance to look into. It's the Sanji. Or no, that might be Luffy saying it's the giant mech of my dream. Or no, that's Usopp. It's the giant mech of my dreams. Just how many times bigger than General Frankie is that? I can't wait to show Luffy and Chopper. Sanji immediately falling in love. What a stunning lady. Robin, just a moment. This is the first I've heard of Vegapunk being a woman, and she looks far too young. Vegapunk has been active for many years. Naturally, who said this was the main Stella body? You're looking at Punk 02, Vegapunk Lilith. In any case, we always run through our research funds in a jiffy, so we'll allow you to skedaddle if you just relinquish your valuables. So, yeah, this is a different, or this is a second version of Vegapunk. Nami, what? These waters are chilly enough without you being cold too. You just fished this out. What kind of rescue do you call this? Vegapunk, are you deaf? This is not a rescue. Trespassing on these waters is nigh impossible. Resist, and they will sink you without question. Take a gander at the weaponized sea beasts. Weaponized sea beasts? That's rad. Yeah, but my fear is overwhelming my awe. Zoro kind of stares at one. Nami and Brook are scared. Vegapunk getting a call. Lilith, what are you doing? Why do you always insist on looting? Have some pride as a scientist. Shaka, put a sock in it. Can your infernal pride keep the lights on? They're the Straw Hat Pirates. A newly dubbed Emperor crew are not going to meekly surrender. Precisely. They must have a heap of treasure stashed away. Even so, you made a foolish blunder. Interesting. So, this Vegapunk version is kind of like Nami and obsessed with treasure. Blunder, I have them surrounded. Don't underestimate them. Look at the swordsman. Oh, that is interesting. That's Pirate Hunter Zoro. His bounty is 1.111 billion. See how calm he is? He knows you're in range for him to end you in an instant. You realize what that says? Zoro could take out an entire army of not only sea beasts but robot sea beasts in one instant. The same goes for Devil Child Nico Robin back there. But what can they do against all the sea beasts? The strong can appraise their prey and prioritize the most essential targets first. You should have been more cautious. Those imbeciles around them lulled me into a false sense of security. Confound it, I was careless. Hey, Vegapunk, there's something I want from you, so you better play nice. Got it? This is so cool. Oh, I'm so glad Robin's finally getting the respect she deserves. Like right off the bat, like somebody is telling Vegapunk, all the rest of the crew are flipping idiots. Like you're dealing with Zoro and Robin, probably the two most like dangerous, serious people in the world right now. Punk 1, Dr. Vegapunk, Shaka, the logic part. No matter, bring them here. I have an interest in that crew. As of this chapter, the old man voice is only really evident with Lilith. This is interesting to note because this may be the real, like when he's revealed, this may be the real face of the old Vegapunk. But it's interesting because the old man voice is coming from Lilith. So, back on the island, Luffy says, so you've been here before? And Bonnie says, yeah, when I was a kid, I was still a pretty run-of-the-mill... It was still a pretty run-of-the-mill lab at the time, though. So how come you came back? I'm here for answers. I'll have that bastard's life if I don't like what I hear. Huh? Vegapunk's the one who turned my dad into a cyborg. Whoa, that's awesome. So, Jewelry... No way! So, Jewelry Bonnie is Bartholomew Kuma's daughter. That is crazy. I did not know that. It's not... He's completely lost his sense of self. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. He's nothing but a living weapon now. Jinbei says, that's awful. Yeah, it's unforgivable. Sorry, Bogey. It's Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie. Chopper says, we made it to the surface. Let's track down some grub. Whoa. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that I ran into Sabo at Marishwa. Sorry about that. Old alarm. Bonnie has the thought, I forgot to mention that I ran into Sabo at Marishwa. Whatever. And she says, whatever, I can spill the beans later. So we are now seeing like Vegapunk's island for the first time. Luffy says, what is all this stuff? Is that a giant robot? There's all sorts of things up there, and a space monster. Jinbei says, what in the world? Bonnie says, I'll be back after I take one for a ride. No, Luffy says, I'll be back after I take one for a ride. And Bonnie says, we're infiltrating this place, remember? Chopper says, take care, Luffy. And Luffy goes, Gomu Gomu no Raketo! And blasts straight into the alien's mouth, who immediately eats him. Luffy's been eaten, and then Luffy apparently like gets blown out the back of this space alien's mouth. You okay, Luffy? I thought I got swallowed, but whoa, is that a giant parfait? There's cookies and fruits too. Look at all that cream. Thanks for the meal. Hold it, you guys. Why would they leave food lying around? This has to be a trap. And so they went right there. Okay, so the things on Vegapunk's island appear to be holograms. So they're saying, we went right through it. How can we see it but not touch it? It's so cruel to make us hungry like that. Luffy says, oh crap, did we die earlier and not notice? And Jinbei says, there's no way we're ghosts. I've never seen one before, but this parfait must be a hologram. Luffy says, what the hell? This ticks me off. It's interesting that he gets the Gear 5 hair when he's upset now. Bonnie says, it's a 3D image made of light. You see him in comics and science fiction stuff. It's just an image? Oh, the space monster. That's why I went right through it. The giant robot must be one too. No one can make something like that. Hey, Chopper says, hey, what's this? All these buttons have pictures of food on them. Bonnie says, give up already. Everything on this island's a sham. Jinbei says, that reminds me, weren't the seas around this island freezing? You'd expect this place to have a similar climate, but actually, and suddenly a giant robot girl walks up to them and says, actually, this is a winter island, but the environment is set to tropical mode in here. With my island aircon invention, you can specify and regulate the temperature of an area right down to the soil. This one's as big as Kaido. So this is amazing. So Vegapunk has a little girl robot that is the size of Kaido. Which is extremely impressive. Luffy says, "You're a hollow thing too, right?" Which is funny because it's a reference back to Perona, who has the hollow no mi. Luffy punches it and says, and actually hits it, and the robot punches him back, saying, "Take this." Luffy yells, "I'm sorry," and bumps into the machine with the pictures of food on it, and some pancakes with syrup drop down in the machine, along with a complete burger, fries, and some Vega Cola. Bonnie says, a hamburger meal and a drink came out. Who made it? You can touch it. It's real. So good. Press the next one. Press the next one. Steak, omurice, tonkatsu, cotton candy, cake, ramen, fried chicken, hot dogs. And the bot says, well, at least you appreciate my work. That's the unmanned cooking device. It can turn raw ingredients into one of 500 unique dishes in under a minute. Pizza, pasta. The make do with what you've got mode is the best, but it can't be too. I can't be too happy since the lack of competent engineers means that this bucket of bolts can't be mass produced. Is following the blueprints that damn hard? It really pisses me off. And she goes and punches the alien. And actually lands a hit on it. She says, the island aircon is in the same damn boat. Its sensors can monitor living creatures and it could tame the weather if we just had a bit more money. There are endless ideas, but not enough resources. She punched a hologram? Waffles, fried shrimp. So Bonnie and Luffy and Chopper are too obsessed with the food making machine. She says, of course, my photonic gloves make it possible to physically interact with light. Perception shapes your sense of reality. But touching a projected object turns that on its head, doesn't it? Okay, so there's another robot now. Luffy says, so that girl isn't real? Debate, and this bot says, debates on what makes something real are as old as time. It's something you'll have to decide for yourself, but I consider the matter settled. Jinbei says, so, just what are you? And the spot says, me, just your resident scientific genius for hire, Dr. Vegapunk. So these are all the bodies of Vegapunk that have been built. So the bot that we're looking at on the island right now is Vegapunk Model 6. And the hologram girl that just showed up appears to say P25, so maybe a 25th model. But yes, this is Vegapunk number 6, known as Punk Atlas. Interesting. So they have types. This is the Wrath type. I'm wondering if there are 7 Vegapunk models and they relate to the 7 deadly sins, although logic is not one of the 7 deadly sins. Tricks here saying, making a great point here. The 6 paths of punk. That is true. They might be doing a 6 paths thing. Bonnie says, what the hell? That's a total lie. Luffy and Chopper say, you're Vegapunk? I've heard that name. Kobe told me about you. So we switch over to the new world. So what now? There's a world government ship, and we look in on what is happening with Lucci, and Rob Lucci is back, boys. The Luch is back. So we look in on Rob Lucci and Kaku, and Kaku says, "Just keep listening, Lucci. Vegapunk is technically still a single individual, but his genius is second only to his busyness. When there's not enough time, you say they say you're as busy as a beaver, right? Well, imagine if there were more than one beaver. In Japanese, the idiom is about cats. That was his grand idea to split up into 6 people. Ding, ding, ding. Trix wins the whole thing with his idea that we are doing a 6 paths of Vegapunk. In other words, all 6 of these satellites are also Dr. Vegapunk. So there is the original Vegapunk, and then there is 6 bodies that he's made to represent him. There is Logic Punk, which is Shaka, Evil Punk, which is Lilith, Flare Punk, which is Edison, Wisdom Punk, which is Pythagoras, Wrath Punk, which is Atlas, and Desire Punk, which is Yoke. It says here in the notes, Atlas is number 5 here in the Raw, but her dress says number 6. We'll update this once Viz clarifies. Okay. Lucci says, and I'm the weird one for thinking that sounds impossible. Geniuses are such a pain. In short, our assignment is to return this problem child back to Egghead, then, while not taking care not to damage. Oh, so they've taken a pacifista of Kuma and made a Seraphim. So this is confirming that they are making Seraphim out of the 7 warlords of the sea. So Kaku says, any of the lab's precious assets, we are to eliminate every last Vegapunk. Cypher Paul, Aegis Zero, Masked Assassins, Kaku, Lucci, and Stussy. So Stussy was known for talking to Morgans on Whole Cake Island. So this is interesting. Oh, this is exciting, dude. So Rob Lucci is probably gonna fight Luffy again. Oh, I'm so psyched for this. So Cypher Paul 9, or now Cypher Paul 0, going up against Vegapunk and the Straw Hats. Lucci says, so we're meant to kill the single most useful man in the world. I wonder if this has something to do with the recent Lelouch incident. Stussy says, someone with instincts like yours should know better than to question these things. And Kaku says, agreed. Don't get us in any hot water, Lucci. A calculated plan. Well, they're about to get into hot water because Lucci versus Luffy, round 2. I'm excited. Ding ding, ring that bell. But yes, that is all. No break next week, but that is all for chapter 1062. A lot of really cool reveals here. Zoro and Robin pretty much confirmed the most dangerous people in the world right now. Except for Luffy Gear 5th. Then what is it? Bartholomew Kuma confirmed to be Juribani's dad. And Vegapunk confirmed to be split into 6 bodies. And Rob Lucci, or Lucci versus Luffy round 2. All I can say, they should just call that the name of this chapter, Luffy versus Lucci round 2, because that is what we are looking at. Anyways, checking out the chat here. Rob Lucci, the true rival, is back. Amen. He says Trix says the path was a joke. Well, you nailed it right on the head. 6 parts of Vegapunk. So we got a Kuma clone, yes, and with the Mihawk Seraphim and the what is it? Hancock Seraphim and now a Kuma Seraphim. We have in fact confirmed that they are making Seraphim based on the DNA of the seven warlords of the sea. So they're combining seven warlords of the sea DNA with Lunarian DNA, putting them together, and that's what we're getting. Rob versus Luffy, round 2 rematch, amen. And Trick says, damn, Robin will be there with Lucci making a promise to catch and kill her. Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see if, like, underneath it all, Lucci's main goal, like, still is always to capture Nico Robin. Like, even though his orders are to kill Vegapunk, he might just be like, I still want to capture Robin, because of his, like, dark justice way. Anyways, this is really interesting. So Vegapunk, right off the bat, is like, yo, I'm with the government and I'm not with you pirates. And so but now the world government is apparently against Vegapunk, so I'm looking at a like a Vegapunk Straw Hat team up to take down Cypher Paul Zero. And hey, who knows, with Kaku there, we might even get another no blind spots giraffe moment. The black giraffe. So I am very, very excited. Trix says the hype is too much. The hype is too much. Like I hope somebody makes a fan art poster of like a fight title card that just says Lucci versus Luffy round 2. I would really appreciate that. Anyways, this video's gone on about the length of an anime episode. So we are going to move on. Trick says Emu may be the one who wants Vegapunk killed. That is possible, considering what they said about Lelouch Island. That's interesting. Anyways, this has been a live reaction to One Piece 1062. Make sure to read the actual manga. I read it at mangareader.site. It's got a few ads and it will open up a few tabs, but if you close them, it'll be fine. Anyways, to be continued on the next piece of One Piece.